Hello, Los Animas County Fair fans. It is another beautiful Thursday morning here in Trinidad, Colorado. My name is Brad Doherty on the Saddle Rock Sports Network. I'm joined by Brody Doherty, my eldest son and senior statesman in terms of broadcasting here on the Saddle Rock Sports Network. We are about to bring you the Rabbit and Poultry Show. We're just going to leave this stream going, and we're set to start here in a few minutes. All the exhibitors are lining up.
Oh, yep.
And we're going to try to kind of pan around and bring some of the action to you just for fun, to kind of give you a taste of what's going on here.
Oh, just getting the top of your head in the shot.
Oh, the top of my, man, that's good.
Amazing.
Actually, hey, this is kind of fun. See that good-looking hat? That was actually made and created by Mandy Hill at Hidden Valley Embroidery. She's one of the sponsors of our broadcast today. You can go ahead and...
Yep. Well, those hats come in black, but they also they come in gray, but they also come in black, which is the one I'm wearing right now. They're fantastic hats. I've fallen in love with the trucker cap style.
Yeah, so big
it's very fun.
It's a lot of fun. Big thanks to Mandy Hill and Hidden Valley Embroidery for sponsoring our broadcast. You're going to hear more about them and our other sponsors throughout the course of the day, and we'll go ahead and pan around. Let's get some fan shots of the crowd, all of the family and friends here cheering on their showmen, kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews. This is just always a fun time. And we want to thank also the Trinidad, or the World Journal covering Trinidad, Los Animas County, Huerfano County, and Walsenburg. We made an announcement during our first show of the day, which is the Sheep Show, saying, hey, if someone wants to bring us some coffee, we will mention you big time. And guess what? David Sanesteven of the World Journal heard the call and thankfully brought Brody and I what tastes like some mocha coffee. It's got a nice little chocolate flavor to it. From Way Out West Coffee, one of the great new business ventures in Trinidad. If you need a quick cup of coffee, stop right on by.
Yes, sir. I mean, it is getting warmer outside, but, the caffeine is more necessary than, anything else at the moment. But as we get set to go for the Rabbit and Chicken Show, this was always my favorite because I was participated in the Rabbit and Chicken Show in my years of showing. But I always thoroughly enjoyed, it's by far the easiest show. You bring your pen of chickens, sit them on the table, and that's about it. Judge comes around, he might open up the cage, feel up the birds, but that's really up to the judge's preference. Other than that, you really just talk about your chickens a little bit, and just really, it's a very laid-back show.
It is laid back in terms of the in-ring work, and it's a shorter duration project. So for a lot of families, it's a little more economical project to get into than some of the larger animals. There's not the financial investment required to purchase the animals nor to feed the animals for a longer period of time. So it really opens the doors for those that may not have the means to really be raising larger animals at their home or wherever they happen to live. So it's a neat thing. And for us and our family, we enjoyed the chicken piece because we would order chickens to show and then butcher everything else after the show and fill our freezer with some good home-raised chicken. And we sold some of those chickens to neighbors and family and friends as well. So really got to be involved in every part of the process.
Oh, yeah, and it's very much, it's very fun. Because every other animal, the truck can come at the end of the week and haul away your steer or haul away your lambs. But chickens, you got to haul them back and take care of them yourself. I mean, you could drop them off at somewhere and get them butchered up, I suppose, but we never really looked into that.
No, I don't think you can do that at any local butcher shop, and I'm pretty confident that you'd have to take it to a bigger processing facility to get that done. And we're also going to be featuring the rabbits here now. We never showed rabbits as a family, but we've had nieces and cousins and quite a few folks that have been involved in showing rabbits, and it's interesting and fun to watch all of those young showmen.
Please come to the announcer stands, last call.
And they are calling all of the exhibitors up to the top here of the show Show Arena to check in. Last call. So we'll be bringing that to you momentarily. So as we get started, we got a little break in the action before we really get rolling. Let's hear from one of our big sponsors that actually stepped up, and they're going to be sponsoring every broadcast on the Saddle Rock Sports Network for the 2023-2024 school year. A network sponsor, Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions.
When you partner with Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions, you become part of the family. Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions is a design, build, and install company for synthetic turf fields serving Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. We are the only owner-operated turf build and install company in Colorado, and we are a one-stop shop that does it all in-house, which means the people that are building your field care about quality and will make sure that it is done right. Choose Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions and join our family.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah. Thank you so very much to Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions. You may have seen it on their ad, but they were the company that put in our turf field in Branson, Colorado, and they do some amazing work in all around the state. But they're just real fun folks.
You know, if you are looking to add some artificial green around your property, they not only do larger installations like football fields, soccer fields, baseball fields, but they do residential and business projects as well. So if you are in a drought type of situation or in a place where there's heavy water restrictions and you want to add some greenery to your property, the good folks at Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions, and they're based right in Pueblo, they can come out and take a look and bid your job and give you something that's going to look great and that will look great for a long time and also be not tap your water resources. So that was the big reason we chose them. Professional service, great pricing, and just quality installation. Really pleased with what their football field that they created for us has brought to our community in Branson. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. I wonder what it would be like to show on turf, Like if you had just a big old flat piece of turf, you can walk your steers out on it. It'd be a pain to kind of clean the cow crap off of it, but it could be, high performance steer showing.
Yes, the cleanup activity could be a little tough. Won't lie.
Yeah, that's why we have the junior superintendents. I believe for this chicken show we have Miss Katie Ward is going to be one of our junior superintendents for the chicken show. But that's super fun. I got to be a junior superintendent for the steer show once, but my job was just to walk around with a shovel.
I don't think Katie Ward will be walking around with the shovel today. I already see some ribbons and some participant awards already in hand. I think that will be her main priority today. Now, if we have any bunnies get loose, that would be a challenge to catch a fast rabbit.
Ooh. It's easy enough to catch a runaway goat or a lamb, even though it may be not the most easy in the moment. But I feel like a runaway rabbit would be a whole nother spectacle in and of itself. Now, I feel like that should be added points. The judge should award, I don't know if it's, points basis that they do it, but extra kudos to whoever catches a runaway bunny.
Oh, 100%. Well, you could add the athleticism of the bunny. You could factor in the athleticism of the exhibitor in the catching and award bonus points for those factors.
Exactly. So would you say that, like, the diving catch going across the wood chips, outstretched arms entirely would be worth more points than just, like, widespread, just letting the bunny come to you? Is this what we're discussing now?
Oh, 100%. Well, you could judge it based on a timed event, from the point of escape to the point of capture, how much time went by. But I think style points should also be awarded. Just like in the Olympics, there's a degree of difficulty.
So what we're talking about now, for those of us of you just turning in, we are discussing rabbit rodeos here at County Fair. We need to make this a whole event.
I think definitely could happen.
Yes, sir. Well, you folks, you've seen mutton busting, you've seen ranch rodeos. We are bringing you rabbit rodeos.
Would it be a rabbit rodeo or bunny busting?
Bunny but
Ooh.
Both could be good. Bunny busting sounds more like you're riding a bunny, which also I would pay to see. Well, you've seen those things at, like, the state fairs where, like, it's miniature pig racing. Like they'll have like a trailer full of pigs, and they have like a course set up, and you can pick your number, and if your pig runs around the course fastest, you win. We could do that with bunnies, but with small children chasing after them. Whichever child catches their bunny first wins.
I think that is a fantastic idea. Fantastic.
Yeah, any sponsors listening, if you want to sponsor next year's bunny busting competition, no, entirely joking, entirely joking. But we could be onto something, Mr. Brad.
Well, one thing I do hand it to the Fair Board and various folks that have made the county fair what it is. They have expanded the offerings of the county fair to really engage the community. You know, there is a cornhole tournament, there is a chili cook-off, there is a community baking contest. There's a lot of stuff happening, especially tomorrow, to really bring more exposure to what the county fair is all about and to just let folks have fun. So in that mindset of having fun at the fair, maybe the bunny rodeo.
We may have to – we do know a few of the people on the fair board, so we may have to pull some strings, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
But, yeah, I don't know. No, to your point, I think the fair board has done a real good job. They've put in a lot of effort to, restructure Fair some, because we used to have all the shows spread out across the whole week. We'd have, like, one big show per day or something of that nature. But I kind of like the fact that they put it all on one day so that if you're coming into town, you can see everything.
I agree. It makes it a little more busy, especially for families that have multiple species showing on the same day. It's a little trickier to juggle all of that. But from a visitor perspective, from a fan perspective, it just makes it one big, very, very fun day here at the fair.
Yeah, if you're coming to watch. And I think that's a balance that's hard to find. And this is the first year I can remember they've done all the shows on the same day. So maybe they'll find something that works, something that doesn't really. But, yeah, it's a whole heck of a lot of fun.
All right, we are going to bring on our first showman interview of the day. This is Brock Doherty. He is going to be a senior at Branson High School this year. He's showing some animals in this next upcoming show. Welcome to the broadcast, Brock.
Howdy, everybody.
Oh, we're even right here. Got him on camera. So introduce yourself to our massive viewing audience and tell us what you're showing today.
So my name is Brock Doherty. I'm part of the Branson Chinchera 4-H Club. I'm actually the president this year. I'm also part of the Branson FFA chapter, and I will be the president this upcoming year. I go to Branson High School, and I'm going to be a senior. And I like playing sports in my free time, and one of the things I do for fair is chickens. Yesterday, I competed with a welding project. I got reserve champion in my category. And this year, right now I'm going to show two pens of market broilers. There's 3 in each, and hoping to do very well. So, yeah.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about the experience of showing chickens and what is kind of involved in the ring there.
It's a very, very complex process, really. You have to do a very good job bringing your chickens in with the pen and then setting them up just the right way. Got to get their feet set, so they can show their loin, their muscles, and all that.
Chickens have a loin. All right, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I just made that up. Yeah, and then you just answer like 3 questions the judge has and smile.
Fantastic. Really, really difficult project.
Yeah, very, very strenuous on the mind and on the body.
Well, what are some of the benefits other than just it being a shorter term project? What do you actually enjoy about the chicken experience?
I don't know. I think chicken is kind of interesting. It's not too difficult of a project. You don't have to work them really. You don't have to go out and wash them, or you have to blow dry them. But it's nice, especially to have them to eat. We actually process them ourselves at our house. And, I don't know, they taste very good, so that's a pretty good benefit.
Now, it was last year or the year before, rumor has it you had a devastating something happen to the chicken crop.
We had a bear break into our chicken shed and kill at least half of our chickens, so we barely made it out alive. But we did have enough to make it a county fair, so that's always a good thing.
Fantastic. Well, appreciate your time. If you want to stop by and give us any more play-by-play of the actual chicken show, you'll be a little busy. So
I haven't be mic'd up like the NFL.
That's an addition for next year is remote mics that we give the showman in the ring. That could be a whole lot of fun.
That's an idea right there.
Thank you, Brock.
Well, thank you, everybody.
All right, that was Brock Doherty. For those of you watching, that's another one of my sons. It's Saddle Rock Sports Network. It's a very family-focused operation. It looks like over to my left, the screen's left, they are continuing to line up exhibitors. I'm looking behind me for additional show people to interview. You probably saw a dashingly good-looking young man in a pink shirt behind me. That's my third son, Will. He's showing ducks here at the fair this year.
Yeah, we may be able to grab him for a post-show interview, but we'll see if he's available with his super busy schedule. He's got press reports and many things to do. So, yes, I think we're gearing up to go, getting all the ducks in a row, if you know what I'm talking about, quite literally. I'm sorry, that was low-hanging fruit.
No, that was easy.
That was
You got to get all
easy.
our ducks in a row ready for the show. I like it.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll be with you in a few.
All right, so let's take a little quick commercial break and hear from another one of our network-level sponsors, the good folks at Woody's Furniture. They have stepped up to produce and rather to sponsor every single broadcast for the 2023-2024 school year, starting with, well, this show right here, and then moving on to the fall sports, volleyball, football, then basketball in the winter, baseball, and track in the spring. Woody's Furniture stepping up big time. So let's hear from them.
Woody's Furniture invites you to stop by one of their 2 convenient locations to browse their fine selection of beautiful furniture, appliances, mattresses, and more for your home. Visit their original store in downtown Raton or their new store in Trinidad on Freedom Road, right next to Big R, for a personal and professional furniture shopping experience. Woody's Furniture proudly supports the student athletes and student broadcasters of this tournament.
That would be cool. Because she got the grand champion. No, she didn't. She didn't show it.
Coming back into it, folks, we're just kind of discussing who else we would like to grab and include in our super exclusive fair interviews. But if you know someone, if you are related to a showman or you know somebody here at the fair that you think you'd like to see on the Saddle Rock Sports Network, send them our way. There's a fair chance we'll be able to include them in our broadcasting schedule.
Rabbit and Poultry Judge Donna Lachey.
All right, and it sounds like today's rabbit and poultry judge will be
Has many accolades, which include getting
Donna
the poultry
Lachey, I
science
believe,
at
was her name.
University of Wisconsin,
We appreciate her
taught
time here today.
poultry science at CSU,
Let's learn a little bit about her.
was head of the State Poultry Board and licensed American Poultry Association. She has also judged many rabbit shows across many other counties, and she'll be happy to answer any questions when the show is over.
Amazing. We always love having all of our judges here, and Fair does like to give a little bit of intro and bio about our judges.
With our open/cloverbud class first, and that's going to be Aubrey Salapage, Sage Moore, Casey Moore, and Eleanor Condon.
All right, and if you didn't hear that over the PA system, we're starting with our open class of bunnies. So this is going to be some clover buds, our youngest competitors, with a little bit of assistance from big sisters and family friends to get those bunnies out on the table.
And, you know, this may be, you know, the open classes are always adorable. You've got little kids that are just out here having fun, and typically they're borrowed bunnies, so they just get the chance to come out, put them on the table, and if they're going to do bunnies later, this is a valuable experience for them.
Great time to see if they enjoy it. Now, I would be willing to bet, though, some of these bunnies are personally owned by these cloverbud showmen.
Yeah, that's very probably accurate. I just know that for the lamb show, some of those lambs were borrowed just for the chance to walk around, but it's all fun. Lots of smiles at the table. You'll love to see it. Now, one thing you'll notice, and this is one thing that'll happen with a lot of the bunny showmen, is the way you don't like hold a bunny like you hold any bigger animal. You kind of got to grab them by their butt and grab them by their face. So, and you want to cover their eyes, because if they can see that they're up on a table, they'll freak out and try to run. So if you can kind of cover their eyes and keep them all in a nice little bundle, that's typically the best way to present a bunny.
I think that bunny closest to us is just he's putting on a show. Got a little yawn going on. We may have some bunny busting coming up, Brody.
Oh,
You
my
never
goodness.
know.
That would be an event. I would pay to see that. It's very fun. All of these young showmen doing a good job of keeping their bunnies under control for the moment. We got various levels. We've got some bunnies kept up in their tight little ball and some just sprawled out along the table. But it's all fun.
It will be interesting to see as we progress on to the older showmen that have really been schooled in how you do that. I've seen typically, I think the balling them and bunching them up helps present them in the way that they need to be.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what cuts of meat you look at when you're looking for a rabbit, but
Well, we actually just to our right, we have a young lady that has showed some rabbits in the past. And I'm wondering if she'd be willing to answer some questions about showing rabbits.
Sure.
All right, we are joined by Elise Comden. She is going to be a 7th grader at Branson School. Tell us about what you have showed in the past, Elise.
I've showed goats for like the whole time I've been in 4-H. I've showed ducks and rabbits, and I think I've showed chickens once.
Fantastic. Now, tell us a little bit about showing a rabbit.
Well, when you're showing the rabbit, in order to keep the rabbit calm, you want to cover the rabbit's eyes, and you want to keep its its body kind of scrunched up so that it looks more like a ball and more round-ish, kind of.
So why do you want to keep it scrunched up like a ball as opposed to like stretching it out?
I think it's for like showing off muscle, but I'm not entirely sure.
Interesting. So what are some of the things that judges have told you when you were showing your rabbits about how to show or what they want, what they're looking for?
I think they're mainly looking for like the rabbit being built good and behaving and that you have control over it.
Cool. Did your bunnies ever have any special trained tricks?
No, sadly I was not able to get them to do any fun things.
Any fun nicknames that your bunnies had?
Sometimes I called my bunny Floof.
Floof? Not Fluff, Floof.
Floof.
Oh, fantastic. That is a stellar bunny name. And see, this year, what are you showing at the fair, at least?
I'm only showing goats this year. My ducks do not look very good, and I won Grand Champion breeding rabbit last year, so I'm just giving other people a chance.
Fantastic. And now you competed in some of the exhibit day contests and in the style review last night. Tell us a little bit Tell us about that.
The style review last night was really good. There were some really good competitors. I'm pretty sure that, oh shoot, I forgot her name. I forgot the lady's name who won Grand Champion, but Katie Ward won Reserve Champion for her class, and I got 2nd place for my class and Reserve Champion.
Great. What other projects did you complete for exhibit day?
I've done quilting, clothing construction, scrapbooking, cake decorating, food and nutrition, and I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Elise, and good luck with the goat show this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, that was Elise Comden. We appreciate her joining us in the booth.
yes, sir. from time to time, we do need to bring in experts on the subject matter at hand because we are oh so experienced in the worlds of bunny judging.
So if you weren't able to hear Brody, what Elise informed us of was that balling the bunnies up actually highlights the musculature of the rabbit, as opposed to some of the other larger market animals where you stretch them out and want to show them like a sheep or stretched out and braced. You just really want to bunch up that bunny.
You know, that sounds about right. I mean, I've always seen it done, but I never really received an explanation as to why. But, you know, I feel like bunnies might be, you know, the cutest animal you can show at the fair.
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
I mean, as good as, you know, swine and steers look, they're just not quite the same level. But no, it's very fun. So if you are watching at home and you know a kid that is showing who would make for a awesome guest star here on the fair broadcast, send them our way. We'd be more than happy to get some subject matter experts in as a part of our show.
Yeah, if you're one of our sponsors, or even if you're a local business here in the Trinidad, Los Animas County region, you know, stop on by. We'd love to chit-chat with you. One of the folks that did stop on by that we are proud to announce a new partnership with is the World Journal, you know, based here in Trinidad, but they also cover Walsenburg, pretty much all of Los Animas and Huerfano County sports, news.
Got a bunny loose.
Oh, there we go. Bunny busting just about to happen here. But we will, if you are a subscriber to the World Journal, you are going to see weekly schedule broadcasts, or a schedule of our broadcasts advertised there in the World Journal. And then we are going to be highlighting some of their features and local news and sports coverage on our broadcasts throughout the school year. Not only that, but we will be highlighting some student involvement from as photographers, as writers, and contributors to the World Journal. So it really is a neat partnership that we are going to be having with them this year. So big thanks to Dave Santasteven and the good folks at the World Journal.
Yes, sir. Absolutely awesome. You know, I will say of all the things I thought I'd be doing this summer, I didn't think I'd be commentating bunny shows.
A bunny show.
A bunny show. This is one of those things I can go back to school and say, hey, I bet y'all didn't do it this summer.
I bet there's one thing I did that you didn't do. And they're not going to guess this, Brody. They're not going to guess this.
Nope. I would not guess this if you had to put me up to it. But, yeah. I love that the judge is making her way down the line, taking her time with each and every one of the kids, and just asking some fun questions. I absolutely love it. I don't think I ever did Cloverbud showing, but it is very, very fun.
Well, the young man giving his answers right now, we're going to zoom in again. This would be great to have these guys mic'd up. He is really talking up his bunny.
Yes, sir. I love when kids, even if it may not be an official show, they're still invested. They still know things about their animals. They're still willing to talk and still willing to learn. So some of these kids, they've been getting lessons from some of the older individuals out there on how to hold the bunnies, make sure they're comfortable, and trying to keep them, you know, in control. Ooh, almost had a bunny breakaway. Oh my gosh, there we go. Fell off the table. Oh, nice
bunny
catch.
busting. Oh, good quick recovery.
Amazingly done.
Well, we have a good little emotional connection between that owner and her bunny right there. You can tell they are pals.
Yes, sir. That's a bunny that's been worked with quite a bit, and it's a little hot outside, so I don't blame these bunnies for getting a little skittish. I mean, you know, one thing I've seen, you know, in the fair, that they've got them like shut up in the barn, but a lot of people have like these little ice water bottles that they'll put in with their bunnies, and so that their bunnies can just kind of lay on and cool off and just make sure they're real comfy. Ooh, announcement from the judge.
Okay. We have a set of 6 showmen here that told me some of the best stories about them and their rabbit, or about bringing their rabbit to the fair. They also knew weather and what they feed their rabbits. They told me an awful lot of information. When they're old enough to be in 4-H as juniors, they're gonna be very good showmen. They all spoke to me clearly and listened very well. Good job to all of you.
All right, the judge with some very kind words to our young showman. Getting ready for our market show. We're going to hear from another one of our good sponsors, Sinmar Land and Lawn Care.
Sinmar Land and Lawn Care provides proven and professional solutions for residential, commercial, industrial, governmental, and agricultural companies located in Colorado and Kansas. We provide top-notch services at affordable prices. You'll get skilled, trained technicians, not kids' day laborers or unskilled spare-timers. We also offer total weed control for alleys, driveways, fence lines, and more, plus noxious weed control. Give us a call today at 719-680-2651 or visit sinmarlandcare.com.
All right, it was just announced. I believe we will have our breeding classes before our market classes.
It's a little bit backwards from the way things usually get done, but it's fun. So I believe we just have one rabbit in the breeding buck class. For those of you unrabbit aficionados like myself, I was just informed that a buck is a male rabbit. And I believe a doe is what you call a female rabbit. So learn something new every day. There we go.
So it's doe, a rabbit, a female rabbit.
Sure.
Now, fun correlation with the little Sound of Music joke there, and our exhibitor, Miss Ethelyn Comden, she is performing in our local production of The Sound of Music at Main Street Live right here in Trinidad, Colorado, starting this weekend. I believe the debut show premiere is tomorrow night. And they have shows Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the next 3 weeks. So if you'd like to come out and watch, it's a great production. It's not just kids, it's adults. Kids are performing the roles of the Von Trapp children and several other members of the cast, as well as, some very gifted adults in our community. So stop by and enjoy the show. Again, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays for the next 3 weeks at Main Street Live in downtown Trinidad.
It is kind of fun. It's really only the rabbit and chicken shows where the judge actually takes just the entire animal and messes with him. You'll see in the steer and in the pig and just the rest of the animal shows, the judge will kind of walk up, maybe feel the back fat or the ribs around the animal. But in chickens and rabbits, the judge just entirely snags the little thing.
They take matters into their own hands.
Yes, because he couldn't just leave the bunny loose. Absolutely not. I wish we had a camera angle on that side. We're a little bit, can't quite see the bunny work going on, but.
And this is our first time live streaming any events here at a county fair. So figuring out camera angles, how things can work, trying to give you a view of the kids and the exhibits is a little bit of a challenge. If you can see, it's interesting now the judge has turned the bunny on its back. And is evaluating the bunny from that angle.
But from the little bit of biography we got from Mr. Brunelli, this judge is very well versed in all things judging bunnies. I believe she served on a panel for poultry judging, and then had been judging rabbits at county fairs for many, many years. So I wouldn't question the method too much. She obviously knows more than you or I about judging bunnies. So.
Oh, no, I'm not questioning the method. I'm just
I never said
learning about these new techniques, and this is a learning process. I just find it fascinating how you
as do I.
evaluate these animals from all these different angles.
Yes, sir. But to any to any listeners out here, I believe that since this is the only breeding buck in this class, that Ethlyn Compton will walk away with a buckle today. So if anyone's out there watching and you want to get your hands on a buckle, you want to pick a class of animals that's not as contested.
Well, again, we don't know how it's going to work out for the various categories, how many buckle sponsors there are. But each of the buckles that is presented today at the county fair is sponsored by families or businesses here in Los Animas County. So we appreciate those buckle sponsors stepping up and providing for those really neat awards year after year.
I wonder if the bunny is just enjoying all this attention and the veritable massage it's getting right now, or if he's a little bit freaked out.
The buck is again down on his back. I think he's enjoying the massage.
Yep, he's just kind of like, oh, I'm laying on a nice bed of synthetic grass and just kind of enjoying my day. This is not how I thought it would go, but hey.
I wonder if that's one of the techniques they teach you in rabbit judging school is rabbit massage.
Yes.
For the table.
Yeah, you got to get in there right behind the ears and give them a nice good scritching.
Scritching?
Nice good scritching, yes,
Uh,
sir.
folks, I hope you, if you don't find us entertaining, not bringing a smile to your face, you can always just hit that mute button on your television or turn down the volume on your phone. That's all right. Once this show is over, go ahead and share this. Feel free to share this with your friends and family. It's always going to be live on YouTube and easily findable. You can just search for Los Animas County Fair Rabbit Show, and this is going to come up. And this might be also a good teaching tool for our young showmen. They can see exactly what they did in the ring, and you can correct them. You can critique them. Oh, let's hear from our judge.
We only have one entry in this class, in this breeding class, but this entry is deserving of a first place award. The exhibitor talked about, she brought this rabbit from her rabbitry because it had the best fur due to the heat. And so she made a very good choice today in the rabbit that she brought and the reason for bringing that rabbit. She's very knowledgeable and I appreciate that. And I encourage her to continue. Good job.
Congratulations to our class.
There we go. And as
and
the
our
only
overall grand champion,
entry to
Ethlyn
the
Compton.
rabbit breeding competition, Ethlyn Compton's going to walk away with a grand champion victory today.
So, Brody, you were correct. She is getting a grand champion buckle. Apparently the only breeding rabbit entry in today's contest.
Yes, sir. And in previous years, we've had other rabbit competitors come in for breeding, but apparently this year, not so much. Awesome. We'll be back in a few moments with the market class for rabbits, I believe.
4D Auction Services, owned and operated by Ryan and Penny Brown, is a family-run business based out of Folsom, New Mexico. Named 4D for their 4 daughters, they offer a variety of auction services throughout northeastern New Mexico, southern Colorado, southwest Kansas, and the Oklahoma Panhandle. They offer business liquidations, large and small equipment sales, farm, ranch, and estate sales, and moving and consignment auctions. Visit them online at 4dauctionservices.highbid.com to see what they are selling today.
Salapitch and Caleb Terry.
All right, you just heard about 4D Auction Services. That's run by Ryan and Penny Brown out of Folsom, New Mexico. They are great folks, and they will come to you for estate auctions, consignment auctions. They have all sorts of things they host and can sell here, there, and just about everywhere. And a lot of their auctions are also online, so if you're not able to attend in person, you can get online on their website and place your bid. They'll also be performing and conducting the sale for our exhibitors on Saturday afternoon. So stop by, support the sale if you'd like to. And again, we thank 4D Auction Services. All right, here is our class of market rabbits. Now, these are all shown as pens of 3.
Yes,
So
sir.
each group of rabbits is actually owned by only one of the showmen that is helping show. You always got to recruit some friends with this.
Yes, sir. It's always a fun event. You got to grab whoever's willing to hold a rabbit. But we have 4 total pens of 3, so 12 rabbits on the table right now. But we have, starting at the far right end, or starting at the far left end, rather, we've got Caleb Terry with his pen of 3. I believe those are Dutch rabbits. And we've got Lily Amato, next set of 3 with her Californians. And then I just know the couple breeds of rabbits. And we have Brooke Ferraro, third one down. And at the very end, we have, let's see which one's that, Caden Salpich, I believe. Lots of rabbits. I'm not exactly sure what to look for in a rabbit, but they all look terribly fluffy.
Well, this is a market class, so just like the rest of our market classes, you're always looking for quantity, in terms of muscle mass. I'm sure she's looking for evenness, or evenness. How's that for a
Evenness,
word?
there you go.
Consistency between the individual rabbits in these pens of 3. You want to bring and show that you can raise a consistently sized animal, which makes for a predictable carcass and just a little easier management. It also shows that you know kind of what you're doing in terms of feeding out your animal. If you can kind of predict and project how they are going to grow and grow consistently from one animal to the next, that's a skill.
Yes, sir. And I think it's interesting that rabbits are shown in pens of 3, because you're not just comparing, overall consistency and growth in one rabbit, but like you're talking about, if you can do it in all 3, that's a better showing of, like, if you know how to raise an animal for market. So I think it's interesting, and I think it can be, if you're judging all 3 compared to the other 3, if you have one absolute stud in a pen of 3 rabbits, but it's not quite as good as another pen of 3 that's all consistently and even, do you still give it to the pen of 3, or do you give it to the one ultra awesome mega rabbit? So I think it's an interesting choice for the judge here.
And one thing that I do not know that'd be interesting to ask the judge about later, one of the things that is harvested and of extreme value on a rabbit is that pelt. Is she looking at the pelt quality in terms of color, consistency, no scratches or scars or things that would impact the pelt value?
Yeah. And that's one thing that was kind of brought up during the breeding class. I'm not sure if it was heard, that Ethelyn Compton had chosen her breeding rabbit because of the quality of its fur. So that's something to absolutely look for in the breeding bunnies. So I don't know if that carries over to the market, or I don't know. Maybe we should have asked our special guest, rabbit aficionado Elise Comden, about such things. But, it's fun. I do love that this judge is taking her time with the rabbits, feeling each group of 3 individually, trying to establish, uniformity and, I don't know, looking whatever bunniness she's looking for. So,
Yeah, so hats off to the Fair Board for locating these quality judges. They really have taken the time to value each project. In the larger classes, and we have a lot of goats and a lot of pigs this year, it becomes a time management element. You really want to judge those bigger classes and not spend hours and hours, but you want to give each kid the respect that they are due, because the kids have invested months and months in those projects. So it pleases me to see this judge, even though it's not a large class of rabbits, only 4 exhibitors here, she is taking time with each animal, really evaluating each one, not just getting through it to get through it to stay on a schedule, but really valuing the time that the kids have put into their projects. So hats off to this judge. Hats off to the fair board for locating this judge. And I was also pleased with the sheep judge earlier today. He spent a lot of time in each class, even the smaller classes, talking about each one, talking to each showman, and really doing what I thought was a respectful job.
Oh, absolutely. And, you do have those folks that's just like, oh, you got the one kid in the class. It's easy enough. Just walk up and, I don't know, just let him go real quick. But, there is some value to, the kids have clearly put in a lot of effort into these animals and, letting them, just giving them the time that they're due is super awesome.
That last bunny didn't seem to really appreciate the bunny massage.
No, and it may not be entirely soothing when you just get some stranger grabbing you by your head, flipping you over on the table, but, I'm not sure how much you actually work a bunny, Like for steers and goats, you can take them for walks and try to get them used to being handled and managed, but I'm not sure if you can really take bunnies out, and I guess you could probably do what they're trying to do now and just kind of manhandle them a little bit and get them used to, getting worked. But, it's all fun.
I think there would be an element to that of working with your animal so it knows sort of what to expect in the show ring, whether that is the exhibitor bringing the rabbit out, putting it on a table, which is a foreign surface, having a second person, a parent or another sibling, then take the rabbit and turn it upside down and give it the belly massage and work it over like a judge would so they are calm on show day. I think that would be hugely beneficial for the show experience, especially a lot of these rabbits. Well, I imagine these are market rabbits, so these particular ones aren't coming back next year. But in the breeding case, you might have a breeding doe or breeding buck that you bring back over and over. And I'm sure in bigger shows, having a comfortable animal that doesn't detract from what the judge is trying to evaluate only works in your favor.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that enough general speak from a guy that really doesn't know anything about rabbits?
Neither of us know anything about rabbits. We're just kind of spitballing here and trying to sound like we know what we're talking about, but we really don't. So if we've made some egregious error, we apologize. Ooh, some of these bunnies are getting a little antsy. They're about ready to call it.
But again, one of the neat things we talked about with the poultry is the fact that these are smaller animals not requiring as much space. Some showmen have their rabbits in a hutch of some sort. Some of them have it in an outdoor pen. I've seen that kind of setup for bunnies. You don't need a lot of acreage or land, or you don't have to live outside of town on a farm. You can have this right in your back door, in your backyard, in the middle of town. It doesn't take a lot of space to raise bunnies, and so that just opens up the 4-H experience to more kids. It's not 4-H isn't just for farm kids.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the majority of the kids at this table now don't live out of town. And I think, some families make do with the space they can to raise goats and things, but you can't really keep a steer in your backyard. So
probably some zoning and town ordinances against keeping open cattle in your backyard in the middle of town.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I think bunnies are much more tolerable in that regard.
Very much so.
But I believe you've told me this a bit before, but like when you have these people, I know that one of the breeders at the table right now, Brooke Ferraro, she's been bringing bunnies for a long time. It can be a real good side hustle, for lack of a better term, to raise bunnies, and you've got a lot of people that that bunny's got a headbang going on. It's kind of look on that face. Oh man. We're gonna have to put together a highlight reel of all the events we've had at Los Angeles County Fair.
I think that could be fun. Oh, we got a jumper over there. Oh no, she calmed it down. I thought we had
go. But yeah, no, raising bunnies can be a great side hustle, and you've got. I'm sorry, there's lots of bunny commotion. I'm trying to tell a story here, but no, it's okay. But yeah, raising bunnies to sell, they're just absolutely adorable. So I don't know anybody in their right mind that would say no to having a bunny as a pet unless you absolutely abhor cuteness. But yeah.
I bet right around Easter time you could sell a bunch of bunnies.
Yeah. Well, yes. I don't know why that statement kind of didn't sink into my brain, but yes. But, like, I feel like Easter time, you got the eggs, but you got the Easter bunny. I don't know. My brain's not processing this right for some reason.
I think lots of baby bunnies are probably sold around Easter time.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Because when they're teeny tiny, they are pretty cute.
That is very true.
Here we go. Looks like our judge is picking up her mic. Let's see what she announces. Oh, she's reviewing some documentation, maybe looking at some secret rabbit judging intel.
Yes. She's got the tome of all things rabbit in front of her.
All right, here we go.
Okay, I really commend these breeders or raisers for raising rabbits that are very healthy and in overall good condition. There is one set of rabbits. Well, let me back up. So, meat rabbits should be judged for their type and the meat they have, the condition of their flesh, the uniformity of the body and weight, and the fur. In all of these sets of rabbits, most of them, if not all of them, are young, and this contributes to it. The set of New Zealand type here are the only ones that have a mature fur, where when you come across and you grab the rabbit and you go backwards, the fur bounces back to flat. The other ones that we have, the fur is a little immature, and so to varying degrees, you push it backwards and it may stand up. The second best set was this set. These were the third best in that category, and these were at the low end, but this is because they're younger. And so when they get older, they'll probably develop that quality, but the only set with that quality is right here. But that's only 10% of the points that they would earn. And so 20% of the points would come from uniformity of body and weight. When I was handling these rabbits, I would say this set was the most uniform. And so that's the best in that category. This set was the second most uniform, the third most uniform, and these were the lowest. The reason is this rabbit is much bigger than the other two. And so that's one thing you can work on next year, is uniformity. Try to get them all the same exact size, okay? Then you'll do better. But as far as the rabbit's health goes, they're doing very well. You've done a good job. Condition of the flesh, again, this set had the best flesh condition. You can see these rabbits are bigger. Either the breed or the age is contributing to this. And so what we're looking at is we want to look at the uniformity and the amount of the muscling that's inside the leg, because that counts for more than any other part of the rabbit. The second group would be the group on the end. This would be the third group, and this group That's the only reason. For their age, they're doing very well. So keep taking care of them and they'll be wonderful. When we're looking at meat type rabbits, again, the New Zealand type is known for meat. That's why these rabbits are doing better. This is what the purpose of the breed is. And so they're doing a very good job. Second, when it comes to meat, are going to be, those are Rex, right? Say it again. New Zealand Rex mix, and so that would make sense with what I was feeling. Okay, and then third, and then again, they just need to be a little bit older. If we were looking at a month from now, they might be right on up there placing the other ones. So just hang in there and keep working on it. So today, this is going to be the champion in the breed. This is going to be the reserve champion for the breed. And then third and fourth.
Alrighty, you heard it here, folks. Placings for your market rabbits. Let's see, Lily Amato took grand champion. Let's see, and then I believe Caden Salapich got second place. Third place was Brooke Ferraro, and fourth was Caleb Terry. Well done from all the showers. I love that the judge gave all of her answers and her reasons for each grouping. It's always fun to hear what the logic is, and that can really give students a great place to work from and shoot for next year.
So as a meat class, you know, it was kind of weighted in the various attributes. The most important was meat and consistency of the muscle and amount of muscle. And then they judged on consistency between the animals. You know, are they the same size? There was another one, like flesh composition. I didn't quite understand
I think so.
What that one was. And the final that they were judged on was the
Their
makeup
meat.
of the fur. And the
Yes.
pelt, which, because it's a meat breed, was not valued as high in terms of overall rankings. But Lily Amato coming in first, winning the buckle today, and young Miss Salapich, Caden Salapich, coming in second, and she'll get the reserve for market rabbits.
Yep, and we'll be bringing you the market chickens next. We'll get started on poultry in just a few moments.
Last chance to come over to
The High Desert Hunting Company is based outside of beautiful Aguilar, Colorado, at the foot of the Spanish Peaks. Their specialty is one-on-one guided hunting adventures targeting your once-in-a-lifetime trophy animal. Originally known as Zelly's Hunting Club when it was founded in the 1930s, the modern-day High Desert Hunting Company also specializes in leasing and managing high-quality private ranches for big game trophy hunts, bringing in clients from all over the world and bringing money into Los Animas County. Give them a call today.
All right, folks, coming back to this bunny show in action.
You just heard from the High Desert Hunting Company. Now, you watched the commercial, but they are one of our new sponsors that saw that we were covering the Los Animas County Fair. Wanted to let everyone know that not only can you book a world-class hunt through them, for those of you from our area, you'll recognize some of those faces that we put in that slideshow commercial of local folks. It's not just high-dollar out-of-state hunters that they cater to. If you want a special memory for someone here in your family, reach out to them. They also want to let landowners know if they are looking for someone that's to come and guide and hunt on their property, to manage the hunts on their land. They can do that for you by leasing it out and working with you as a landowner to bring hunts from out of state, really from around the world, into Los Animas County, potentially on your ranch, and you can benefit from that. And it just benefits from everybody. Oh my goodness. Thank you, High Country, High Desert Hunting. Now we have a super cute showman with a fun little bantam fluffy bird.
Yes, sir. This is our open class for the chickens. Just have the one entry. But oh my goodness, is that bird cute. Not to mention the showman.
A
That is
little
quite the
showman,
hat.
yeah. Zoom in on that young stud.
Yes, sir. That is so much fun. I love the fact that we're just yeah. I love the open classes. It's so much fun. Once again, an opportunity to just have a fun time and, yeah. Just let the kids get some experience showing.
All right, another friendly reminder. Don't forget to take your livestock pictures right behind that over there with Miss Sloan. Miss Sloan.
Oh, man, we are getting to, this would have been a great mic'd up experience. I would love, maybe that is an investment we can make next year, Brody, is some remote microphones to set on these little exhibitor tables.
That would be a heck of a lot of fun. See what, just even for these open classes, just hear what they're saying. I'd love to hear what the judges are kind of asking, too, what their criteria kind of is, what the knowledge they're trying to quiz these kids on, and just, get some behind-the-scenes info.
Inside baseball, as it were.
Yes, sir. Inside the show pen.
Inside show ring.
Yes, sir.
So if you do get the chance to swing on by the fair today, if you're watching, and if you're watching this on replay or anytime after this week, it's going to be too late, stop in to see all of the neat things they have for sale. The Los Animas County 4-H Foundation puts together what they call the 4-H farmhouse, where there's lots of donated handcrafted goods for sale, ranging from canned goods all the way up to fine home decor. There's also some independent vendors here at the fair, selling all sorts of neat things. So there's a little something for everybody. Stop on by here at the fairgrounds. I know those vendors will be here pretty much all day today, as long as the shows are going on, and probably at least until the middle of the afternoon. And they would love to visit with you.
Yes, sir. I think we might have to send somebody over, get some snow cones from the snow cone guy. It's getting a little toasty out here.
The temperatures are a-rising.
Sure was real nice for the sheep show, but now that we're awake, the weather's gotten hot, so it's not a trade I was hoping to make. That's okay, though. This boy's getting a chance to talk about his little feathery friend, and we might see that chicken again in a class of breeding chickens. But those little bantams are real pretty birds. We used to have a couple of them, and they're some of the only birds that have feathers like all the way around their head. We used to call our little bantam King Fluffy Head.
King Fluffy Head, that's right.
Yes, sir. He wasn't around for too terrible long, but he was fun.
Oh, here now we're gonna. Ooh, chicken! A little chicken massage, flipping the bird upside down, really getting a
real
feel for
look.
the bird. It'll be interesting to see what our judge does with each chicken that's going to be in our market classes. We actually have quite a few entries in pens of 2 or 3 in the show this year.
I think the longer that this chicken's on the table, I think the more uncomfortable it may be getting as it's being held, picked up, getting tossed around a little bit, all on this hot Wednesday afternoon. Is it Wednesday or is it Thursday? It's Wednesday.
Today is Thursday.
It's Thursday. Oh, it's been a long day, Mr. Brad. Are you sure? No, today's. Wait, is it Wednesday? I'm sorry. It's been too dang long. No, it is Thursday. My goodness. Well, earlier this week, you'll have to excuse my tiredness, but earlier this week I was camping out at fair, making sure that no shenanigans were happening with the animals that arrived here early. So I was up a little late being a glorified security guard, so that sure was fun.
I'm looking here trying to We'll learn some interesting things and find a little bit of humor to add into the show here. Here's one I found for you, bro.
Hit me.
Let's see. You got to find it. How long do chickens work?
I don't know.
They work around the clock.
This is brilliant. I love that so much.
Oh, yeah, folks, get ready to roll the eyes. We got a bunch of those.
Ooh, I might have to find some of my own.
Do you know why the cow jumped over the moon?
Huh.
The farmer had cold hands.
That's a heck of a joke. There we go. If your eyes aren't rolling, then you are probably a dad. If you're enjoying these dad jokes.
You know, as we're sitting here and as the judge is working with this young showman, I'm sure she's got some more kind words for our young competitor here today.
An up-and-coming showman. He loves this chicken. This is the chicken for him to carry around and rub it under its beak and pet its hat. That's its crest. And so, as he gets older, he'll get better at showing us all the parts of the chicken and telling us more about it, too. And he'll have more stories to tell us, I'm sure. By the way, this chicken gets fed worms. This is one spoiled chicken.
Amazing. Fun times. And as with every open class, these little youngsters get a little bit of cold hard cash for their efforts. $5, which is just enough to go buy a snow cone or some of the assorted goodies that we've got around the fairgrounds.
You know, if you had $5, one place you could head to is the Diamond W Mercantile in La Junta.
Is there?
Learn about them, bro.
Just like the general store mercantiles of the Wild West, Diamond W Mercantile strives to stock everything our customers need for a simple life. From tack to homemade towels and housewares to locally grown meats, produce, and more. We offer grass-fed Mesa beef that was raised on the ranch right outside our door and Watonga Cheese Company cheeses made in Perryton, Texas. And we're always adding something new. Come shop with us Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 at 14 West 3rd Street in La Junta.
There you go. Sorry, we're just passing our dad jokes back and forth. I found an amazing one right here. It says, my uncle actually has me worried. Anytime he drives by a milk farm, he pulls over and leaves a few dollars on the fence. Doesn't he know cow tipping is illegal?
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Alrighty, getting into I believe this is the breeding hen portion of the chicken show. We may just have the one chicken here presented by Mackenzie Riddle. She is a professional chicken showman, also a big fan of the dairy cow scene.
Professional chicken showman, huh?
Yep.
Actually, Mackenzie is a budding photographer. You'll see a lot of her work all over Facebook. She's been all over the county fair thus far, and I'm sure she'll be here for the next couple of days posting lots of pictures of all of the different shows, except for the ones, obviously, that she is involved showing in. As a recent Branson graduate, that is something she wants to pursue, is kind of agricultural communications with an emphasis on photography and videography. So she'll be pursuing that at West Texas A&M this coming fall. She also was a recipient of the prestigious Daniels Scholarship, as was Faith Vernier of Branson. Also, who will be attending West Texas A&M University, I should say. All right, here is the judge kind of looking over Mackenzie's hen and giving her some pointers, guidelines.
Yes, sir. If we had an angle of the chicken, we'd love to show it to you, but a little bit constricted at the moment with our
Again, we shall work on those improved camera angles for next year. This is a learning experience for us here the Saddle Rock Sports Network on the county fair. You know, this last broadcast year, we did 133 live events, focusing mostly on Branson and Kim sports. If you weren't aware, those two schools combine for all of their varsity sports. So football, volleyball, track, baseball, and basketball. And then we also broadcast all of the games of the Trinidad State College High School basketball tournament. And we'll be doing that again this year. So if you would like to be a sponsor of any of those broadcasts, you can learn more about that at saddlerocksolutions.com/sponsors. In addition to Branson and Kim Sports, we will be featuring, drumroll please, Honey football this coming fall. We are going to have those broadcasts as well. So if you sponsor the network in, by the week, by the month, by the sport, you're not just getting Branson and Kim Sports, you're also going to get Honey football. And we have one more school that we are very close to announcing as part of our network. And hopefully in the next week or so we'll have that official announcement, but I don't want to let the cat out of the bag prematurely. But another area school that should be joining us. I hope will be joining us. We've got all the pieces in place, just got to get the permission. All right, back to the action here as the judge is talking with Mackenzie. Again, she's been showing chickens for, I'd say, probably 5 or 6 years maybe.
Yeah, she was always showing chickens when Brock and I were doing chickens, and we've been doing it for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
So
a long time.
Yeah. She's very experienced in the world of chickens. I don't know if she brought market chickens this year, but breeding chickens are good. Those are the ones that are always the prettiest. The meat birds, you typically go for the size, and the girthiest bird typically is more favored. But the breeding chickens, those are when you see the pretty birds with the nice feathers, and those are the ones you want to be the most presentable.
Okay. This hen is a crossbred hen. I'm not sure right now what it was crossed with. It looks like it's a cross between a Delaware and something else. It's a very healthy chicken. She talked about how they don't keep their chickens in cages. They let them free range. And it's because they think that's healthier. And yes, it is. Because a lot of the muscling and things that do with health come from being able to fly. And so when a bird is free ranging, it exercises all of its breast muscles. Everything that makes a wing move is centered into the breast. That's where the muscles come from that make this action. So you can imagine how many muscle groups get exercised. When a bird is flying up and down and landing, it's getting more exercise in its legs. And so you couldn't tell, but I'll bet that bird weighed 7 to 8 pounds. It's really heavy for a young bird. And so it's thriving in the environment that it lives in, and that's what we always want. So I told her we could maybe figure out what the crossbreed was after the show. We'll look at the American Poultry Association standard, and we'll try to sort that out. Good job.
Amazing. There we go. I believe that makes.
Class 1 American class winner, Mackenzie Riddle.
There we go. I believe that makes Mackenzie Riddle your grand champion, your breeding grand champion for poultry.
And that's going to be Dalton Dowry.
See, Mr. Brad, were you able to catch what that announcement was? Who's coming up?
This is Dalton Dalrick. I'm not sure exactly what class this is.
Something with the chicken, I'm sure. Let's see here. Oh, thank you very much. Let's see, Dalton Dalrick. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so apparently there are several classes of chickens that we're going through. That was Mackenzie's American class. So she placed first, but she is not the grand champion yet. So Dalton Dowrick, he is showing in the Asiatic class, I believe, which must just be the specific breed of chicken. And it says here, I have a little note on this page of paper, that this chicken's name is Clucky.
Oh, fantastic. So we have Clucky in the Asiatic class.
Yes.
I like it.
Now, I have no idea what this chicken actually is. If I had to guess, in my very unqualified opinion, is that it is a bantam. No, absolutely not.
No,
Great.
I believe bantam is just a reference to size. In the bird world, bantam
I
can
see.
reference, like, they're miniature, smaller chickens that don't grow very large. So you can have a bantam Rhode Island Red. You could have a bantam fluffy kind. I don't think fluffy refers to bantam. Now we'll have to Google that here off camera to figure that out.
Yeah.
But no, it's. I'm not sure what Dalton's got here. But again, the judge spending some great time with our exhibitors.
Now, when that bird stands up, you can really see the feathers, and that's just a real pretty bird. You don't see those black chickens too terrible much. They're just real pretty. Sometimes you'll see those birds, they've got like little blue highlights in their feathers. They can look real pretty when the sun catches them just right, and when you spread their wings out real far. Those can be real pretty birds. We never had those, I don't believe. But, yeah, real pretty birds. And if you'll notice, I believe that bird's got some feathers around its feet. That might be fairly typical of this Asiatic breed, or this Asiatic class. Just an interesting choice. You never see those feathers around the feet for any of the meat birds, typically. I don't know. I don't know much about birds. I'm just kind of going.
Well, again, Dalton getting some good instruction from the judge about probably the meat quality of that bird. I really appreciated what she had to say about Mackenzie Riddle's hen in that American class. You know, Mackenzie and the Riddle family, they're able to free range their chickens and not keep them caged up, which allows the birds to get out, to exercise, to flap around. And literally that flapping exercises the wing and the breast muscle, which are the two most important parts of the chicken. And as the chicken runs around, and those drumsticks get a little workout. So if a person is able to give their birds some free range, all the better. Now, as we get into some of the meat classes, we're going to see a difference in types and breeds of meat birds. Some birds that are commercially crossbred for meat will get very large very quickly. They're very slow, but oh my goodness, they are massive. Mm-hmm. And then you will see some meat birds that are classified really as dual-purpose birds that are known for their egg laying and meat production. They're not going to be as big and as massive, but they will be more pretty to look at than the big, massive behemoth meat birds. So depending on what the judge values in those classes will determine the winner. We've seen in the past some judges value the big, hefty meat crossbreds, and we've seen some judges value the dual-purpose, prettier, more uniform, long-term birds. That's just a matter of judge preference. And you really never know what you are going to get from your judge until show day.
Yes, sir. But, you know, I think we'll talk more about the meat birds when we get there, but that was what I showed, so I've got plenty of fun facts to share with all of our avid listeners
on
the Saddle Rock Sports Network.
Let's see. This is definitely fun. We're having a good time here on the Saddle Rock Sports Network. We do appreciate everybody for jumping in and joining the fun here. Again, after this show, while the judge is still working with Dalton's bird, I want to bring up real quickly the rest of our schedule. You'll see this afternoon we're going to be bringing you the goat show and then the beef show. In terms of exhibitors, the goat show is the largest show at the county fair this year, and then beef will follow them at about 5 p.m. Tomorrow morning we'll bring you the swine show that starts at 8:30, and then Saturday morning we'll have the round robin showmanship contest, which is all of the winners of their showmanship competitions from each respective animal competing head-to-head to see who is the ultimate showman. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We got a lot of fun broadcasts coming to you today and the next couple of mornings. And we appreciate you not only watching, but go ahead and share these broadcasts with the exhibitors and family so they can enjoy and see how everyone did.
As a black standard size cochin. The colors that it exhibits are all correct for its breed and variety. And he plans on breeding this chicken and also selling the eggs. He's done his homework. He told me cochins lay about 100 eggs a year. And that's correct. And so he should, if he keeps following through with everything he's doing, he should have a very successful breeding project. And we keep in mind that qualities from all of these standard breeding chickens have been put together very selectively to create the hybrid breeds for egg layers and meat chickens. So even cochins offer some of these qualities. And with cochins, it has to do with feather quality and fluff. And so if he continues to breed cochins, then if he wanted, he could crossbreed to make an egg layer that would lay more eggs a year. Or he could breed to accentuate another quality into another breed, maybe like more fluff. And so he should do well, but every good crossbreed starts with standard breed or true breed chickens. So keep that line going. Good job.
Alrighty, there we go.
Congratulations to our Class 2 breeding poultry winner.
Sinmar Land and Lawn Care provides proven and professional solutions for residential, commercial, industrial, governmental, and agricultural companies located in Colorado and Kansas. We provide top-notch services at affordable prices. You'll get skilled, trained technicians, not kids' day laborers or unskilled spare-timers. We also offer total weed control for alleys, driveways, fence lines, and more, plus noxious weed control. Give us a call today at 719-680-2651 or visit sinmarlandcare.com.
All right, we got one more single bird breeding class. I believe it's Mackenzie Riddle will be joining us in the ring. Oh, no, she's sitting down. She's not going to be joining us in the ring. She's sitting right over here to my left. So I'm not sure what's up next. We will, whatever it is, it'll be right here on the Saddle Rock Sports Network.
Yes, sir.
The next and final class for our breeding poultry needs to be getting ready. Breeding ducks, Class 1, Will Doherty and Will Doherty.
Oh, looks like we got some ducks coming to the ring.
Yes,
Will
sir.
Doherty with a couple of breeding ducks to showcase. Wait, oh no, we do have a single chicken making its way into the ring. Looks like Miss Ethelyn Comden.
Bringing her bird. I believe this is the last of the single bird classes. We got us a. Let's see. If I had to guess, this breed of chicken would be gray.
The North American Gray.
A North American gray, yes,
Yes.
sir. Now, if you had to name this bird, Mr. Brad, what would you name this here chicken?
Smoky.
Smoky. Ah, there we go.
Smoky.
I was gonna go with
Extra tasty
Colonel
crispy.
Colors. Extra tasty crispy. Yes. 3-piece meal.
Oh, those will be the meat birds later on. This is still
Yes.
a breeding bird.
This one. So I suppose this one would be the omelet producer. I don't know.
Well, what I like about this judge thus far, she has, even the caged birds, she's had the showman bring the birds out to have on the table. So something some of our judges in past years have not done. So a little more interaction, a little more hands-on showmanship required by the exhibitors. So that will be interesting to see how she conducts the meat shows where we have pens of multiple birds.
Yes, sir. And once again, kudos to the Fair Board for bringing in a variety of judges. It's fairly rare that you get that they have judges back for more than 2 or 3 years. And I think it's just fun as a showman. You never really know what judge you're going to get. So it really encourages you to just bring the best animal you can rather than cater to a judge and what you know their tastes kind of might be from seeing them in separate years. So, yeah, it's real fun. We'll try to get a good shot of this bird right here. Yeah. You know, if I had to name this bird, I'd say that looks a little bit like Colonel Sanders.
Looks like you're too young to even know what Colonel Sanders looked like,
What
man.
are you talking about? I know who Colonel Sanders is.
And no, more of the white bird with a red top because he always had a red bow tie.
I'm sorry, I'm just getting hungry. I think that's my whole issue right now.
Can't blame you there. One of the neat things happening here again at the fair is I can see some families with some yummy burgers and various things from one of our 4-H clubs that's hosting the concession stand lunch opportunity for the exhibitors. So,
yes, sir. We'll have to figure out we'll have to grab ourselves some grub in a few minutes.
We'll be heading that way soon.
Yes, I believe this. Let's see. I believe that this concession stand is actually hosted by the Red Rocks 4-H club. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if this judge wants to have the market chickens be taken out of the pens, because those birds tend to be significantly heavier than the breeding classes. She mentioned that Mackenzie Riddle's bird was just about 7 pounds when she was picking it up, but I know that the market chickens can be close to 11 or 12 pounds on the heaviest end of them. And most of that weight does carry over to their carcass, because you'll get birds, once they're processed, they'll be about 8 to 9 pounds once they've lost all their feathers and things. So picking those birds up out of the cages and getting them back in may be a bit of a chore, but, you know, it'll be interesting to see what this judge prefers.
Ethelyn displaying some composure under pressure there. Her hand decided to
getting a little crazy on her. So very, very fun, but we'll see. I don't know what we're going to see, but I think it'd be, you know, if we add to we've already discussed our bunny busting event that we will petition to the Fair Board to get added. But I think if we add chickens into the mix, that could be a whole nother level of nuts.
Oh, man, if we had a live chicken chasing contest. Now, a lot of folks have, as a fundraiser, chicken roping contests, which is more laughter than anything practical or industry worthy at all. But it's a great time.
Oh, absolutely. Now, I still would say that there ought to be a chicken showmanship aspect to the county fair, because every other animal group you have some showmanship where you walk them around the pen, show off their attributes, and really just show off yourself as a showman. Now, I think chicken showmen should have just as much of an opportunity. If you have your pen of 3, it turns into a little bit like curling, where you set out your chickens at one end of the show ring, and you have a show stick or something other to kind of guide the chickens into the middle. If you can get them to sit and stay in the middle of the show ring, then you win.
I think there is definitely some possibilities there.
Yes, sir. And just like curling, when you got the broom out in front of the little rock thingy, I'm trying to shuffle it in front, you got like a stick in the back, and you're just trying to like push and prod your chicken getting into the middle of the ring, and that'd be brilliant. But no, one year for the sale, I kind of tried something like that. I might have did it twice, but I think I did it once, where instead of, so we would always have our chickens in like one of them little crates you see on your screen right now that Ethlyn Compton has. We'd have the crate in like a little wagon or something, or you'd have a buddy carrying the crate, and you'd just walk around the show ring while the auctioneer's doing his work and getting you money. But I actually had the chickens just sitting in the crate, or not without a crate in the wagon. I took one of them out, set them to the side. Oh, sorry, word from the judge.
These birds for eggs. You know when you have a good egg-laying breed because they do not put any energy into anything else. This bird is very light, so it doesn't put energy into a lot of muscling. It's putting its energy into laying eggs. So when you look at breeds, this breed would likely start laying between 5 and 7 months of age. When we look at some of the market chickens that'll come up, they're putting all of their energy into making meat. They won't start laying eggs ever in their lifetime. If you don't butcher them by the appropriate age, which is typically less than 4 months, they'll die of a heart attack because they can't get enough air at a time at this altitude. So when you have an egg-laying type chicken, they live longer lives, but they're not good for meat because they don't have meat. The commercial egg-laying breeds typically live to be about 3 years old. They lay about an egg a day. Most chickens die by the time they laid 1,000 eggs in their lifetime. So if they lay an egg a day, they're going to live to be about 3 years old. When they send those chickens, they know about when they're going to die, so they send them for rendering. They typically get less than 1 pound of meat from a laying because they don't put any energy into laying. Where your commercial crosses for me, they can easily get 8 to 10 pounds of meat. And so these are the differences in the purposes. Again, it takes a true or standard bred chicken in order to control crossbreeding to get the qualities you want in the commercial chickens. So keep that in mind. It also takes 8 generations of breeding to make genetics stable when you start crossbreeding. So it's a long progress. It's a long process, and you have to keep a lot of records to get it right. But you did a very good job. This is a very healthy chicken. I have no doubt that this chicken lays eggs, and that she can lay a lot of eggs. And so just keep doing what you're doing, and she'll stay healthy, and you'll keep getting eggs.
There we go, folks.
Congratulations.
Interesting bit of
to our
information from the
family.
judge. Congratulations to Ethlyn Compton for her amazing chicken showing. And I think we'll get an ad or something before we get back to breeding ducks.
Reminder
The Art Cottage Creative Studio is a place where family and friends can come to have fun while getting creative in the studio or shopping in the store. We offer instructed art classes for all ages, paint parties for all occasions, and open studio paint days during normal business hours. Located at 210 North Commercial Street in beautiful historic Trinidad, Colorado, the Art Cottage is the place to find local artwork, home goods, gifts, and more.
Alexis. Oh, coming back into it, we've got a gentleman that you may recognize from behind us when we were talking to one of my brothers. We've got William Doherty, the duck showman as ever. 2 pens of breeding ducks. I have no idea what breeds they are. I think the ones on the right, the black ducks, are known as cayugas, and the ones on the left are brown ducks. That is the extent of my knowledge. I'm sure he's going to give me a lecture about it in a few, but he'll let us know real soon. But yes, ducks are not chickens. They are like the aquatic version of chickens. They swim, they lay eggs, they make lots more noise than chickens tend to do, and they poop more than chickens do. So there's your duck knowledge for the day. They have webbed feet. They taste like chicken, except they're not chickens. They're ducks.
We discovered that ducks are much trickier to wash and process. In the butchering process, a chicken, you can get it to release its stranglehold on its feathers by dunking the dead chicken in boiling water. Ducks, not so much, because their feathers, their feathers shed water. So to get them to be ready to
Oh, what's it? What do you? I was zooming in on the ducks.
Well,
Sorry.
but he's making silly faces.
He's playing rock paper scissors.
All right,
with
we're
my other
gonna go to a commercial here, folks.
At M&M Repair and Towing, we provide you, our customers, with the highest level of excellence by getting your vehicle back in commission with minimal cost to you and your company. Our team is dedicated to offering you 24/7 access to automotive repair, roadside assistance, and vehicle towing, along with other services to keep you on the road. We at M&M are proud to serve the Trinidad, Walsenburg, and Raton areas and are proud to sponsor today's basketball games.
Stepping back into the action, we still have my brother be an absolute goofy nerd, playing shadow boxing with my other brother at the side of the ring.
About 15 to 20 minutes just outside there. Little Donkeys will be setting up their food truck for all sorts of eats over there, so check them out. Thank you.
Getting into the duck show, we've got, I'm so sorry, Will Doherty, who has been showing ducks for 3 years now, I believe. He was the first person in Los Animas County history, I believe, to bring ducks to the fair. So he's pioneered the way of the duck and is now showing off his breeding ducks.
The Way of the Duck.
The Way of the Duck.
That sounds like a bad kung fu movie or a great kung fu movie.
Yeah. Well, did you know when ducks do work on karate, they don't break the boards, they only quack them.
Give it up. That was fantastic. So for those of you that aren't aware that might be watching this, Will is the exhibitor right here. Will Doherty is my son and
my brother.
And Brody's youngest brother. So we'll probably make an inordinate and a large amount of jokes at his expense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been trying to keep things semi-professional for the rest of the showmen. As
emphasis on semi?
Semi-respectful. Or semi-professional. But no, since Will is our brother, all bets are off. So yes, he's clearly talking about how good his ducks are, how they can swim and do other duck things. He's actually done a lot of work. He made his own little duck pen for him. It's quite innovative, including a full dojo to practice their duck karate. So I'd be curious how much. Sorry, I had a whole thought that I was going to share, but then it just kind of. But it's really, really cool. I love that the judges for rabbits and poultry do both. I think it's really cool that they are able to do that and not just the one set of animals. Having versatility can be so cool on these long days, and nice that it's saving some time. Mr. Brad, if you had to name these ducks, what would you name them?
Oh, man, those are some great ducks. I think one of them has to be named Quackers.
Quackers.
Maybe Webby, since they have webbed feet.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Well, they have bills, so there's got to be a Billy.
Have a Billy.
Billy. And
Quackus Maximus for the last one, yeah.
Quackamus Maximus?
Quackamus Maximus.
Oh, Maximus. Yes, a good Roman centurion name.
Yes, entirely proper.
The duck. Few people knew that one of Caesar Augustus's legions was named after his pet duck.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, the Quackamus Maximus.
Absolutely.
Legionnaires. Oh my gosh! I think we need lunch, folks.
Yeah,
if you're listening, and you do not need to bring us lunch. I believe it's one of our local 4-H clubs, the Red Rocks 4-H clubs, that has set up a concession stand with hamburgers, hot dogs, Gatorades, chips. It's just within reach. In fact, you could probably tilt that camera over there, show the great folks getting it done. We'll be back to Will's in-ring action and explanation here in just a second.
So we appreciate all of our viewers hanging with us as we go about our fair adventure. This is the first time we've ever broadcast any of the shows at the Los Angeles County Fair. But if you're watching and you're enjoying your Thursday afternoon from the comfort of your air-conditioned home, hopefully you're enjoying what we're offering. Oh, going to the book of all books, the Poultry Grail, as it has been referred to.
I believe it's a book of standards, and the way it works in the bird industry, the bird showing realm, is there is a set of accepted standards what each breed should be, and if your bird checks off all those boxes and is close to the breed, then that's the best. It's not necessarily a competition of bigger and better like in market classes. In these breeding classes, are you adhering to standards? And so I think it's a standards book is what she's looking at. So they'll have these cayugas. For a cayuga, it should look like this, and it should be roughly this size. And so that's what they're working on.
And so, yes, it's been interesting to watch her process with all the other animals. With the rabbits and ducks, this lady has done a fantastic job. I wonder if ducks are a little bit more foreign territory. I don't know. I'm sure she's quite the poultry aficionado. But I'm very proud of Will. He's done very well in his showmanship. He hasn't quacked under the pressure.
Where do ducks shop for their footwear, Brody?
I couldn't tell you.
Online on the World Wide Webbed feet store. Oh, I was stretching.
I was a little bit of a stretch.
I was trying to figure out how you work that in. No, yours quacking under pressure. That was fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Be here all day.
All right, folks, we are here and having us a good time. One of the things here at the Saddle Rock Sports Network that we're doing, we have Sports Network in the names. We do focus and emphasize on broadcasting high school and junior high sports here in southeast Colorado, and we're looking to hopefully expand to northern New Mexico, to a school or two there a little bit this year. We're expanding. We started as part of the Branson and Kim co-op schools. We play football as the Bearcats and all other sports as the Kim Mustangs. We work together and we broadcast those sports. This started during COVID when fans and spectators were not allowed to be in the gymnasiums, but they did allow camera crews. And so I was able to get some equipment and start live streaming our games so parents could watch their kids play. And once the restrictions were released, we continued to stream those games because we got such a positive response from people all over Colorado and in other states as well. You know, relatives were able to watch the game from afar, and it just kind of snowballed from there. We added live play-by-play commentary this last year, and we actually added a bunch of students into the mix as student broadcasters. So we call this a student-powered broadcasting company. So all of our sponsors, the majority of the funds that we raise goes to paying those student broadcasters. This is not a volunteer club or association. All of the broadcasters, including college student Brody, is paid for their time behind the mic or behind the camera. And all of our students learn the technical skills associated with creating a live stream sports broadcast or other event broadcast. Students are also involved in raising funds, getting sponsorships, and doing all sorts of things. And for those students that want to use selling advertisements as a fundraiser for their school group, we will give 20% of whatever is raised back to that school group as a fundraising opportunity. And last year, during the 2022-23 school year, school groups earned $1,800 in commissions by selling ads here on our network. So in the coming weeks, you're going to see a lot of blitzing and promotion and marketing materials trying to get sponsors for the upcoming school year for our various broadcasts. And so know that if you choose to be a sponsor, not only do you get your commercial run here on air, you're going to see your logo on all of our Facebook posts and YouTube thumbnails. And a lot of your sponsorship dollars are going to paying student broadcasters. The other money goes basically to buying equipment and snacks and meals at events and things like that. It's just a neat thing to do. So learn more about us at saddlerocksolutions.com. You'll find everything you want and more at that website in terms of learning about our operation. If you're a potential sponsor, or if you are a parent or a coach or athletic director maybe you're a technology teacher, or you have a media or journalism class at your school, and you would like to get a student production crew started at your school as part of the Saddle Rock Sports Network, we can get you involved in what we're doing. And again, we will pay the students for their time broadcasting the games. It's a neat time, a neat opportunity, and we have enjoyed every step of the process. So thank you for watching today and being a part of this broadcast. And one way you can really help us out as well is when you see our notifications about our live streams on Facebook or wherever that might be, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and share that to your Facebook profile. That really helps more people know that our broadcasts are happening in the moment or that they are on the way. So like and share if you care.
Wow, that was
How
nice
was that
and cheesy
for
to
a
finish it up.
nice and cheesy finish to that 2-minute elevator speech?
Hey, there we go. We'll take it. But no, it has been an absolute pleasure. I've had a heck of a lot of fun being a part of broadcasting. I really enjoy doing basketball and football. I'll probably be doing a couple football games this fall as we get going into that. So I know I'm not technically a high school student, but it is fun to be a part of a broadcast organization. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, as we keep going with the Duck Show, it's cool to see this lady really probably sharing some good information with Will. We still have the Market Poultry after this, and the Goat Show is slated to start at 1 o'clock, but that is pending whenever the Poultry Show gets finished. And we'll keep bringing you all of the action here on the Saddle Rock Sports Network as it comes our way. I've been sitting on this one for a second. What did the duck go to prison for? Got arrested for smoking quack. It's been awesome. We were just flown in some burgers from the concession stand run by the amazing Red Rocks 4-H chapter, and the burgers are pretty darn good, I have to say.
Oh, somebody I saw a comment on one of our YouTube videos, and I appreciate this. Kathy L. said when the judge is turning the rabbits
Kelly
over, Kelly, I'm sorry, she's checking teeth, nails, and the gender of the rabbits.
There you go. I mean, I could have guessed, but that's
That's really cool. So
Glad we had it confirmed.
thank you for that little point of education. We really appreciate that.
Alrighty, here we go. Get an announcement from the judge.
Okay, so we have 2 sets of ducks, and they're both very healthy. You can tell they're well kept and they keep themselves well. So that's a really good quality. Even though the first set is not a standard breed color by the American Poultry Association, they're still going to be the first place set because I don't have to follow those rules today. This isn't a sanctioned show. The reason these are going to be first place is because they're more consistent. They're more consistent in body type. That's the number one thing for birds. Their body should have certain angles, the angle of their legs, the angle of their backs, the color of their beaks. There's so many things to consider. These two are more similar consistently than these two are. One thing you can look at that you can probably see is when these two ducks stand, one of them's back is flat and straight, the other one is at an angle. So that's a really bad fault. They should have the same angles. These birds have the same angles. And so for that reason, these are first, very deserving of first. He uses them for egg production to sell eggs. These are second. I'm sure they produce just as many eggs. They just would not produce a consistent breeding in their babies. And so as far as the breed itself goes, that's why these are placed the way they are today. Very nice. Thank you.
Congratulations.
There we go. You heard it here first, folks.
So the pen of brown ducks takes first, and the pen of black ducks takes second. Now we will have the grand drive for the breeding poultry.
Woo, let's do it.
So it's grand drive. So we have like some trucking noises. Grand drive time.
Well, it's got to be grand trucking noises, so maybe it's like
Sound
I don't know. No, that's what he would.
sound effects. We need some sound effects
We
for
need
the
a
ground
soundboard.
drive.
Yes.
Yes, soundboard for the grand drive.
So we can make all the noises. That would be great. Bringing in each of the individual winners of their breeding classes. Got Ethelyn Compton, Mackenzie Riddle, and I believe we're looking for Dalton to come back in. And I've always found it interesting that in these grand drives you have the chickens and the ducks paired against one another. I thought it was kind of unfair because I lost to my brother with his pens of ducks before. Just because, they're ducks and they're cool and chickens are fat. But, it's all still fun. There's Dalton Dahlrick. He's got his, let's see, what was the name of it? Clucky?
It was Clucky the Cochin
Clucky
in
the
the
Cochin.
Asiatic class.
Very, very fun.
Develop as an American Poultry Association judges. You look at 300 birds, and I don't know, you just learn to remember them. And so what I already know is the bird that's closest to its breeding standard is this Cochin. So this is the champion. Very nice bird. The second place bird is this bird. Now, this bird is in the Mediterranean class. That was misannounced earlier. It's not another standard breed. This is in the Mediterranean class. And this is the second place bird. How about you?
All right, congratulations to our reserve overall champion, Ethlyn Comden, and our grand champion overall in the breeding poultry, Dalton Dowlick, donated by the Bernelli family.
There we go. Amazingly done for all of our breeders.
So if you did not hear that, Dalton Dahlrick was announced as the grand champion breeding poultry with his Cochin, and Ethlyn Comden as reserve grand champion breeding poultry with her gray pen, which is apparently out of the Mediterranean class of chickens.
I probably could have told you that. I know my chicken's real good.
Yes, Mediterranean's right there.
Yeah, Mediterranean.
All right, we're going to go to a quick commercial break to hear from another one of our very generous sponsors.
LARCC Trucking is the place to call if you have something to haul. A family-owned trucking business since 2021, LARCC is named after the owner's children, their motivation to create a successful future. LARCC is ready to help you haul your hay, cattle, gravel, or equipment anywhere in southwestern United States. LARCC also buys and sells hay. Give them a call today at 970-274-0826 and get ready to haul.
There we go. Massive thank you to Los Animas Rural Trucking Company, run by the Farindelli family. They've been a fantastic sponsor for all of our broadcasts. And, just massive thanks to them for all that they've done. I believe we're going to get into the market poultry in just a few moments. And I know we've said on the schedule that the goat show is slated to start at 1, but the way things are running at the moment, that might have to be delayed. We'll get that started later, but we'll still bring you all the action when it happens, all this gripping Los Animas County Fair stuff. We'll hope you're all buckled in. This will be a wild ride for the market chickens. There should be quite a few coming out. These will be more pens of 3. These market birds will, and we'll get going in a few minutes.
All right, I want to take just a minute here. Thank you, Brody. And we're going to bring up this screen here. It shows all of our sponsors for this set of broadcasts at the fair. Our top 3, and those are our network level sponsors, 3 sponsors that have stepped up and sponsoring every single broadcast this school year. LARCC Trucking, Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions, and Woody's Furniture right here in Trinidad. And then we have the rest of our wonderful sponsors that have stepped up to sponsor these fair broadcasts. Many of them sponsored a lot of our sports, and we have some new sponsors as well. So we have Hidden Valley Embroidery. That's Mandy Hill, located right here in Los Animas County, as is the Art College. That was Darcy Minsick, who runs that business. Sinmar Land and Lawn Care, Mark and Cindy. I totally forgot their last name. Henry.
There we go.
Mark and Cindy Henry, appreciate your business. The High Desert Hunting Company, one of our newer sponsors out of Aguilar, Colorado. Diamond W Mercantile, a neat little shop in La Junta, another first-time sponsor. Comey Funeral Home, a longtime sponsor of our broadcasts. M&M Repair and Towing, 40 Auction Services, and new partner, the World Journal. So looks like we are about to get into our market class of meat birds.
Boy, oh boy, there's a lot of birds on the table, Mr. Brad.
Oh, that's a lot of yummy. Are they original recipe or extra tasty crispy, Brody?
Man, I don't know, but there's more than, let's see, what was it, 43 ingredients that went in? What's the herbs and spices? No, Dr. Pepper's 23. Is it 11?
It
for
was
KFC?
11 original herbs and spices, yes.
Yes, sir. Let me tell you, look at all these birds. They probably could use 11 herbs and spices and get them looking all nice. Yes, on the table right now we have 5 pens of birds. We have Michaela Baker with 2 of her pens of chickens. We've got Graceland Thurston, next one down, and then Brock Doherty and Mason Riddle. Brock and Michaela both have 2 pens of chickens on the table. Graceland and Mason both have 1, and I believe on my little, I think Michaela might just have 1 or 2. I don't know. I can't count. But
she has 2 pens of 3.
2 pens of 3. Okay, great. They look like they're all in one box, though, so that makes life a little bit confusing. That's all right, though. But for, I noticed on my little cheat sheet over here, everyone's got their pens labeled, chicken 2, chicken 1, pen number 2. But Graceland Thurston has named her birds. We have Nugget, Dumpling, and Pot Pie.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So
Nugget, Dumpling, and Pot Pie.
Yes, sir. That's extra announcer points for Miss Thurston. You can redeem those at any time. Let's see. Looks like the judge is getting in, trying to feel the breasts of all the birds rather than bringing them all the way out of the pen. Oh, wait. Or maybe she is. But, yeah, it really depends on judge preference with the meat birds. Sometimes they'll just leave the birds in the pen. Sometimes they'll get the birds all the way out to feel them up, feel the muscles that they have, feel the breast, feel the legs, and really see what kind of muscle they've developed.
Now, for those meat birds, those white birds, what are they? What types of birds are those? What species we got there, Brody?
Sure, those big white ones are Jumbo Cornish Cross Rocks. They are a crossbreed between Cornish and Plymouth Rocks. They're big birds. They get real fat, and they really only take 8 weeks to get as big as they do, from hatching straight out of the egg to about the size you see out there right now. Those were the birds I raised during my time showing chickens. And I don't know if you heard, but the poultry judge, she gave us a little bit of factoids about them. But these birds, they grow so big, so fast, that they actually get too big for their own good. And if you don't butcher them within like 10 to 12 weeks of their entire lifespan, they actually get too fat and suffer a heart attack, especially in the heat and with low altitude. They just can't breathe or walk anymore, so they just get too big. So they get real big real quick, and they're good for meat, but you'll never get any eggs out of these birds, though they technically still could lay eggs. So there's your meat birds fact of the day for you.
Yeah, these birds are interesting to raise. As you said, Brody, it's always fascinating how quickly those Jumbo Cornish Cross Rocks will grow. And it's a good thing that she's keeping them in the cages, because they are so muscular and so strong. Once they get to flapping their wings, they can actually break their wings and dislocate their joints through their skin. They are that muscular and that strong. So really, it's to the chicken's safety that she is evaluating them in the pens, and she can still get a real good literal feel of those moneymaker breast and thigh muscles from just by reaching in.
Yes, sir, it's real fun. And one thing, these birds, they do provide a ton of meat. I believe Brock's birds right there in that pen, they weigh roughly 10 to 11 pounds at the moment, which carries mostly over to their carcass weight. They weigh about 7 to 8 pounds when they're dressed. So, and if you're looking for some chickens to fill your freezers, you can give us a call or contact any of these kids. I'm sure they have extra chickens that they will be looking to offload at some point. They're a phenomenal way. You can get a lot of meat out of these birds. So if you have 11 herbs and spices that you'd like to try out, give one of these 4-H'ers a call. They'll get you all hooked up. Also, you're welcome to come down to the auction, which I believe is on Saturday this week. It'll be done by 4D Auctions, Ryan and Penny Brown. They do a fantastic job of making sure these kids get their just desserts for a fun season. And we actually have coming by the booth right now Will Doherty, who is absolutely refusing to give us his thoughts on the duck proceedings we just had. We'll have to track him down at some point later for his thoughts on the day. Well, it looks like Mason Riddle's chickens are a little less keen to get judged. Now, those are pretty birds. You don't typically see too many of those pretty birds in the meat bird classes.
So it's very interesting year to year and judge to judge. This is the first year that this judge has been a part of the Los Animas County Fair. And the judge that we had for the last about 4 or 5 years had his preferences and his style. And as an exhibitor, if you could kind of gamble and try to play to the judge, as it were. What type of animal does that judge like? And the previous judge sometimes would judge by pretty over meat. Oh, she's ready to go.
Yes, sir.
So these are going to be the champions right here because they're the heaviest, they can move around, and they're very consistent. The second place set, this set is not second place. It's going to be third. The reason is because there's one bird that appears to be a lot lighter than the others. And so that's what's going to. This set is very consistent also. This is going to be the second place set. It's just not as heavy as this set. So congratulations. I'm sure they'll all taste great.
There we go. You heard it here, folks. Judge has her priorities right. Thick, fat birds, and that's what we love to see. If it'll work on the dinner table, it'll work in a show. So, I believe Brock Doherty got first place in this class of market chickens. Graceland Thurston took second. Brock's got third. And then fourth and fifth is divvied up between Mason Riddle and Michaela Baker.
You know, as we were talking, as I was kind of explaining before, the judge announced her placings. You know, the judge last year, sometimes he would choose an evenly matched dual-purpose bird, and that's the kind of bird that Mason Riddle had this year. And in this particular class, she only announced her top 2 placings. She didn't announce placings 3 through 5, but she valued big meat, and so that was her criteria for this meat class. So again, I believe that is all of the market birds we have. Or maybe we have market poultry.
We do have market ducks. We'll do the market ducks, and I believe they actually get paired against the market chickens for the grand drive.
For the grand drive. All right, let's hear from another one of our sponsors, the good folks. Did we just do LARCC?
We did already.
All right, let's hear from our friends at Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions.
When you partner with Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions, you become part of the family. Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions is a design, build, and install company for synthetic turf fields serving Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. We are the only owner-operated turf build and install company in Colorado, and we are a one-stop shop that does it all in-house, which means the people that are building your field care about quality and will make sure that it is done right. Choose Rocky Mountain Turf Solutions and join our family.
There's still some more. There's like market ducks and then the grand judge.
Alrighty, folks, coming up, we have dual-purpose pens of 3. I believe we have 4 pens coming up for this one. We're going to get them all set up fairly soon. Coming into the ring now, we got Mackenzie Riddle already out on the table, and then we have Dalton Dahlrick once again with a pen of 3 dual-purpose birds.
Oh, this is a dual-purpose class, not just a strictly meat class. So I spoke incorrectly when I thought that Mason Riddle had a dual-purpose pen.
You know, that was a fair guess, because typically any big meat birds are going to be your jumbo Cornish cross rocks. Those are most common. But, I bet they're all still delicious.
You know, one thing I've noticed over the last several years, more and more poultry exhibitors. And I think that kind of does speak to just the economics of raising animals. You know, poultry is a great smaller scale project to get into. A lot of animal husbandry involved with raising chickens. You know, feeding chickens protecting them and kind of getting to know them. They're really a fun project that doesn't require a lot of real estate or a significant financial investment. And again, just opening up 4-H to more families in the community.
Yes, sir. I always had a fun of a time raising chickens. They're fairly low maintenance. You just got to make sure they got food and water, and they're not getting too fat. So it's been real good. On the table right now, we have Mackenzie Riddle is the closest on the left of your screen. Dalton Dalrick sitting in the middle, and then we have Miss Catherine Agnello, who has brought her gray dual-purpose birds. The Smokies, as we took to calling them, but these are all, once again, dual-purpose birds, so they are primarily egg layers, but then after they serve their purpose, they still have enough meat that they retain to still make for some decent rotisseries. But, yeah, I think the judge kind of touched on it earlier, but the purely egg-laying breeds like that we had with Ethelyn Comden and that whole crew, they have almost no meat on their bones. So they're not terribly good once they're processed. But these dual-purpose ones, as the name kind of implies, they do a little bit of both. Also coming to the table is Jace Cannon, who is bringing a couple little bitty birds.
So that would be a bantam breed right there, Brody. Those are cute. We'll have to kind of zoom in on those here when she gets close down. Now, I think really the notion of dual purpose is you're going to not be disappointed with the males or the females of the species.
Yes.
That your males that you're not keeping as breeding roosters, you can butcher them and get still a decent yield. Not nearly as much as the big mega meat birds, but in terms of maintaining a flock over the long term, you're not going to be disappointed. Whereas the strictly egg-laying variety, the males that you don't keep as roosters, you're not going to get as much meat off the bone as you will these dual-purpose birds. Because once they're done, an older hen that's done laying, you're not really going to want to eat that meat. It's not going to taste all that great.
Yeah, fair enough. So I guess my understanding of dual purpose isn't as good as just straight, big, chunky meat birds. So I don't know. Well, I just wanted to point out that this judge, now this is the first time she's done this. She's taken the chicken all the way out of the pen and hung it upside down by its legs. So I guess that's as good as way as any to grab a chicken. I haven't seen that too terrible much, but she clearly knows what she's doing. So
now think about what she's evaluated our pens on thus far. She's looking for consistency in weight and construction. And with the big mega meat birds, it put them at a danger. If you were to flip those upside and they get to flapping, they could really injure themselves and damage the carcass. With these dual-purpose birds, they're not that strong, as strong as that. They can handle a little bit of manhandling and showmanship, as it were. So, and this really does give her a more thorough inspection of the animals.
Oh, sure.
Hey, I kind of sounded like I know what I'm talking about there.
Yeah, you kind of sound like a professional caster of all things county fair. You know, I would have loved to do broadcasting during exhibit day. Just like, here comes Brock Doherty, he's got his welding project, look like they were slapped together in 2 seconds. But that would have been an interesting play-by-play. The judge is tasting the cake. Oh no, looks like someone left a toothpick in the cake. Disastrous.
Now, I think before the day is done, we need to get Mr. Dalton Dalrick here on the microphone for an interview.
Yeah. That'd be real fun.
Ooh, if we look off to the south here, guys, it looks like we got a little bit of moisture heading our way.
Yeah, we're going to have to
And
start.
I can hear a little bit of rain coming down on this tin roof above our heads. I guess it's not tin, it's a metal
It's
roof.
about sheet metal. But no, it's been a really interesting weather day. It started out real nice for the sheep show. It got real cloudy all of a sudden, and you can see Fisher's Peak in that shot right there. That's real nice. But no, it's gotten real cloudy, and it has. We have been rained pretty thoroughly out here, but we've been. Hopefully, this weather will hold off for a few minutes, and we still have the goat show and the cattle show to get through this evening, so hopefully the weather holds off for a little while.
We are pretty far inland here in terms of our location in the show ring. And here comes the judge with her placings. Okay, with that rain coming down, even trying to increase our volume to pick up the judge and her comments, the sound of the rain is kind of drowning that out. So we will do our best to try to give you the synopsis of her reasons.
Yes, sir. I think
She just went right down the table. 1, 2, 3, 4.
There we go.
Mackenzie Riddle winning the class. Dalton Dahlrick coming in second. And what were the names of our last two showmen?
Catherine Agnello and Jace Cannon taking 3 and 4 respectively. So I think our reasons were somewhat fairly on from what I was able to hear. Looking for both meat and egg possibility. So looking for body composition that in the hens that's good for eggs, and in the males that might be closer to meat layers. Not meat layers, what am I talking about?
Going to lay them down some meat.
Yeah, when you go outside in the morning, you like to gather the eggs and bacon from the pigs too. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
Proper breakfast.
Well, actually, that rain coming down is giving us a nice little refreshing breeze here, Brody.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Next up, we have market ducks. Now, these ducks are quite girthier than the breeding ducks that Will brought on a second ago. These ones, if I'm correct, are jumbo Pekins. They are bred for their meat. They are big fellas, let me tell you. Those are ones that if you see them charging to you across a pasture, you kind of want to be aware of. I don't know.
And they
They're a nice, consistent set. They've taken care of themselves well. This is what you want, ideally. Very good job.
There we go. You heard it here. I don't know if you heard it here, but high praise from the poultry judge here, saying if you want ducks, these are the ducks you want. From Will Doherty, first place in his market ducks. I think he might as well just stay on the table as we bring out the grand drive for the rest of the poultry. Brock Doherty will be coming out, as well as actually, I don't know if they're going to bring out the dual purpose as well, but we will see.
Sponsoring today's
Grand
Drive.
We already did that.
Let's hear from
LARCC Trucking is the place to call if you have something to haul. A family-owned trucking business since 2021, LARCC is named after the owner's children, their motivation to create a successful future. LARCC is ready to help you haul your hay, cattle, gravel, or equipment anywhere in southwestern United States. LARCC also buys and sells hay. Give them a call today at 970-274-0826 and get
This is not a hard choice today for first place. Very nicely done. Very nicely done.
There we go.
If you were going to take your chickens and sell them commercially to a processor, those are what you would want to sell. If you're looking at what you can do at home for really good dual purpose birds, this is what you want. And so from that standpoint, it gets a little more difficult. It depends on which set is more consistent. This set is more consistent, so this is second place. These are excellent, they're third place. Good job.
There we go, folks. That'll do it for the poultry. Will Doherty, grand champion overall with his market ducks. Brock Doherty with the reserve grand with his chickens, and Mackenzie Riddle in third with her dual-purpose birds. So well done all around from all these showmen. Very high praise. It was cool to hear that each of these birds did exactly what they were supposed to. If you wanted thick chickens, you pick the chickens. If you want thick ducks, you pick the ducks. If you want eggs, you pick the egg layers. So very good stuff. Great to hear.
That was some beautiful commentary.
Thank you very much.
And insight from
If
Brody
you want
Doherty.
a duck, you pick the duck.
All right. Well, again, thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this broadcast of the 2023 Los Animas County Fair Poultry and Rabbit Show. This is going to wrap it up. We'll be back here on the next live stream with the Goat Show momentarily. I believe we have some goats getting lined up and ready to rock and roll. So we'll be right back.